Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Uh, I want to wish you a very happy Friday. Friday is my third most favorite day of the week, with Saturday and Sunday out in front. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. I've got a really great presentation, and I want to show you what's coming for the new year of 2024. Um, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. You're probably tired of hearing it by now. Let's get the ball rolling. The new year is here, and it's time to get back to business. So I'm going to be doing the presentation today on our AI Auto Trader. And first, before I get started, I just want to confirm that you can see my screen, you can hear my voice. Hey, Arjan, thank you. Hey, Ben, Carlos, Manuel. Okay, okay, great. Cliff, hey, Joe. Thank you so much. Great to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. I think it's really exciting. We're really putting, not only time and effort, but now we're really sinking a lot of money in to making the AI auto trader even more powerful. And more about that in just a few minutes. Let me just very briefly get the CFTC out of the way. The good Lord knows we don't need any alphabets of the federal government chasing after us. So I just want to make it clear that I am not a licensed financial advisor. This presentation is for educational and demonstration purposes only. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. With that being said, I just want to take just a minute just to recognize the members of my team. And our vision here at Right Line Trading is to develop innovative trading strategies that help predict the future direction of price. Man, that is very valuable information. And we monetize that information in a number of different ways. And I think really what distinguishes us from some of our competitors is we're actually on the right edge of the chart every morning trading our system. We always see the Monday morning quarterbacks that fill our inboxes with how much money they made last week or yesterday. But we never really did see that they really executed the trades. And I don't know if we could believe them all or not. But I think that's one of the things that distinguishes us. And I'm also going to be showing what we're adding into the AI Auto Trader that's really going to set us apart from all of our competitors. And more about that in just a few minutes. I've got an extremely talented and educated and handsome team. Very briefly, professional traders. We have our prop trader, David Kushner. Our options trader is David Wise. We have Mr. Craig Emery, who's trading in our futures room. In the back office, Brock is a fairly new to the company. He's a college student studying to become a computer engineer, like Charles and Sergio, who both have their master's degree in computer science. Charles is a true blue engineer through and through, and he makes sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And I think he's a really valuable member of our team. Myself, I've been with Right Line Trading for going on 10 years now. I wear several hats here: trading coach, tech support, customer service, pretty much you name it. And one time or another, I've done it here at Right Line Trading. And it's also given me the opportunity to get to know, you know, hundreds, if not thousands, of members of our trading family. And I always love talking on the phone with traders and discussing our journey. It's not an easy journey. It's filled with speed bumps and potholes, but it's really a privilege to get to talk to so many of you traders. Um, I'm from originally from Miami, Florida. I'm an avid saltwater fisherman, big Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat fan. The Dolphins are looking good, but I don't want to talk too early. December, they have a tendency to uh, kind of fall apart at the seams, let's say. But uh, I'm a graduate of Syracuse University, and I've been with Right Line Trading a long time. So we also have Mr. Sergio Rodriguez. I mentioned earlier, he's our developer, software developer. He puts all of our ideas and mathematical modeling and equations, and now he's working with some world-renowned AI developers, and they're going to integrate that into our software. More about that in just a few minutes. The founder of Right Line Trading is Mark Sachs. He continues to be a contributor here with of our team in developing our software, and he also continues to do extremely well in his options alert services. Our team is led by Mr. Mark Miller, who is a Army veteran. He has his MBA from Cal State, and he really instills those core military values into every department of Right Line Trading. Honesty, integrity, and transparency are really what we strive for every day. So enough about us. Let's talk about this trading system. I always like to put a personal picture, and today's no different. I'm very pleased to announce today that I have found a mutton snapper honey hole. Right down by the Florida Keys in Key Biscayne, there's a place called Stiltsville. And it's probably in 15 feet of water, very shallow water. You see the huge ocean in the background. Well, this one is right close into shore. And man, this is a beautiful mutton snapper, about 24 inches long and extremely good eating. And man, we filled up a cooler of those the last couple of trips out. And you can see headed in the beautiful sunset there in Key Biscayne. You can see I am an avid saltwater fisherman. So the genesis of the AI auto trader was the problems that we all experience as traders. And you've probably, I'm assuming, have been to one of my presentations before. If not, then I know that you're familiar because we all share these common problems in our trading. I'm probably the biggest culprit with emotional problems, emotional issues. Not only do I revenge trade, what that means is if you take a few losers, you want to make it all back. You want to get it back quick. You might start going for home runs, pulling the trigger when nothing's there, seeing ghosts. And that revenge trading, just like all of these other examples on my slide, it all leads to the same thing, and that's blowing out our trading accounts. I can't tell you how many times I've quit trading in frustration, blew out an account. And I always like to mention this because it rang so true to me. I heard a presentation, and one of the presenters, I forget exactly who it was, and I don't think it's important. Excuse me. But what he said was human beings, we're all unique, but we all share, I think he said 15 or 16 different personalities or personality traits. And 15 out of those 17 personality traits, they just don't lend well to being a good disciplined trader. I always refer to Michael Jordan. He'd be in front of a crowd of 30,000 fans screaming and yelling or cursing and screaming. And he'd have the world championship on the line and $1 million, sponsorships. And this guy would put himself into the zone and kind of black out all of those emotional things or all of those stressful and excitement inducing atmosphere. and he would kind of put himself in the zone. And he said it himself. The basket started looking like it was 5 times the size as it really was, and he could just put that ball through the hoop with ease. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm no Michael Jordan. I wish I was. I cut my winners short. If the trade starts going in my direction, I'll squeeze my stop because I don't want to give any of it back. And those emotional errors, what it does over time. If you look at it close, and we try to put it out of our minds and forget about it, but looking back, it's accumulated into a really substantial amount of money that I've lost due to these emotional errors that have led to blowing out accounts time and time again. So our genesis for creating the AI auto trader was these emotional errors and fumbling on a platform that we're not 100% familiar with, and putting aside all of these emotional errors that we do. It was really the genesis. And since we launched the AI Auto Trader, it's been our commitment as a team here at Right Line Trading to bring it to an end. We're determined that no matter what it takes, Mark Sachs, the founder, left us a foundation of very powerful indicators that do help the future prediction of price. And now it's up to us to advance this with modern technology to make this the most powerful auto trader available to the retail trader. And I think we're on our way to doing that. In fact, I know we are. And I'm going to explain to you how. Uh, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I want to get right into the meat of the presentation. But this slide, what it means is when the opening bell rings at 9:30 Eastern, we have no idea which way the future direction of price is going to go. So we need tools. We need to have the proper tool set. And we've narrowed it down to two things. Not only do we need the proper tool set, but ideally, because of the reasons I've just, let me just take a sip of water. Because of the reasons that I just mentioned, us being humans, is ideally we want software that can automatically get us in and automatically get us out at the ideal, most opportune times when the least amount of risk is associated with the trade and we've captured uh, the bulk of the move. We didn't leave our money on the table and got out early. And listen, I always, bring in the biblical analogy of David versus Goliath here. And I think it really is a great analogy because we have to look and realize that we're up against giants in this market. We're not going to beat the hedge funds and these guys that are trading millions of dollars. But what we can do is have our software get us in the same direction as these big institutional money. And that, of course, should be included as one of the benefits. And I'm going to explain to you how we track the institutional money in just a moment. But the benefits of our AI auto trader is there's no more overthinking or hesitating on a perfect trade setup. Our system, just a little foundational information, runs on NinjaTrader 8. NinjaTrader 8, hallelujah, is a free platform. If you're a prop trader, you get it with your prop account. If you trade your own live money account, you don't have to buy their platform anymore. When several years ago, I think I spent 11 or $1,200 buying NinjaTrader. So just starting off the game, I'm already in for 1,000 or 2,000 to get started. Well, that's all history now. And now NinjaTrader 8 is a free platform for a very nominal fee. You can get live data. This system requires the CME level one bundle, which is $12 a month if you're trading your own live money account. If you have a prop account, your prop firm, I'm sure, supplies you with the data. So once the strategy is enabled in NinjaTrader 8, the system is going to execute and manage the trades on your behalf. So there's no more overthinking. Everything is going to be done for you. There's no more fumbling around with trying to get in and out. Your stop and your targets are going to be placed in an optimized location. And that's part of the AI integration that I'm going to be discussing, is the trade management. These optimized profit targets are going to be based on a closed loop system that's constantly streaming data of the current market conditions. I think the biggest knock on auto traders has always been, well, once the market conditions change, the settings that we have don't work anymore. Well, listen, the technology that's available now brings that to an end. And I like to think that we're leaders in the industry because we're now going to be offering artificial intelligence in our auto trader that's going to optimize the settings based on the current market. Whether it's in chop, whether it's trending, it's not going to make any difference. We're going to be ready for it. Okay. So I just want to go over, because we have a really great diversified portfolio of strategies. And I'm just going to go over a few examples with you of some of the strategies that we have in our portfolio. The first one being our cash cow. The cash cow, looks like the system might have just taken a trade on, looks like crude oil it took a trade on. And let me tell you, I'm gonna be going over crude oil in just a few minutes. This strategy on crude oil has just been, now it's not going to win every trade, but this strategy on crude oil with the unrest that they've been having in the Red Sea. I don't know if you've been following, but there's some, conflict. Well, we all know about the war that's going on in the Gaza, in Israel and the Palestinians. But what they're doing is they're going after boats, these carriers, some of them carrying oil through the Red Sea. And one of the biggest carriers is now rerouting their ships around I believe it's Africa. And I read that it's cost an extra $1 million in fuel to avoid that turbulent area where they're having that conflict. So what it's doing is causing a lot of volatility on the crude oil market. And you'll see from day to day, it's shooting up and shooting down. And our system has just been doing outstanding on crude oil. And I'm going to show you those results in just a moment. And I think that's one of the benefits of having a diversified portfolio, whether it be gold, crude oil, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the E-mini. We've got strategies that are running on a very diversified set of instruments. So the one I'm going to highlight right now is the cash cow, which runs on the Russell. It trades on a 15 range on the Russell. And what it uses in order to enter a trade is it looks at our, we call it our signal A, which is for momentum, via our Laguerre. And it also follows institutional money, looking at the market internals. So from December 1st to December 28th, for the month of December, that strategy made about $2,235. And that was on the cash cow. And one of our better strategies that we have a few strategies on the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ, the retirement plan, this is the NASDAQ chart here. And the retirement plan, these are the entries that it took today. You could see that this uses the signal A Laguerre. When momentum, you could see institutional money is driving the price of the NASDAQ higher between 10 and 10:30 or 11. The way we know that is these little triangles that we see here. What that's telling you is that there's a disparity between uptick and downtick, and momentum is headed to the upside. So if we were going to follow in the direction of institutional money, that would be telling us to go long in this area here. However, we have an entry that once the Laguerre crosses that 80 line, the RSI line crosses the 80 line, it's going to fire off an entry like it did here, a short entry, and it went down and it hit both of my profit targets. Then it came up and we got faked out. It went long, only to bounce off of the 50 EMA, and we took a loser. So we wound up for the day at a $200 profit. And I wanted to show you the charts. We don't want you to not understand, by a black box system where you just kind of hope to God that it works without any, clear understanding. So we are very transparent in that regard. And I also wanted to show you this also because we took one winner and one loser, okay? And do you see what the P&L is for the day? We have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio on a minimum of all of our strategies. On the Haymaker, the one I'm going to show next, I believe, we have actually a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I think we're risking 20 ticks to make 80. So with that risk to reward ratio heavily in our favor, we have a great opportunity each day to come out in the green. So that's the NASDAQ on a 2-minute, and we call that strategy our retirement plan. And it has a really nice equity curve that I'm going to show you next. You can see here in my equity curve from October 1st to the end of December. And I really think that this equity curve, and I want to make this fact known, that everything that I'm showing you here today is not back testing. Okay, this is all forward actual trades taken on a live market. I can run a back test now for the last 3 months and make it look like this system will make you $1 million. But that's not really, once we learn that back testing is not very accurate, we don't show that anymore because you can't rely on a back test. What you can rely on is what happened in a real live market environment, where there's a ton of different variables that come into play that can skew the results from a back test. So from October 1st to the 28th, this strategy made $3,095 with a max drawdown of, I believe it was $900. You can see here on October 23rd, my cumulative net profit went to minus 900. And that was our low watermark. And, this graph is also a testament to our team. Listen, I know there's a lot of competitors out there that, once the strategies go south and then don't do well, a lot of them won't do anything to help you. When we see our equity curve start to do this and we hear the chatter in our Discord chat group, it holds us accountable. We want this to be a win-win relationship. When our team sees an equity curve start to do this, like it did in October, we immediately start running the data through our system and getting better settings. We optimize all of the templates. And you could see weekly in our Discord chat group that we're always optimizing these settings and making them fresh to the current market conditions. So our equity curve did a 360 going into the end of October and November. And then in December, we finished the year on a really nice note at 3,095 with a $900 drawdown, okay, max drawdown. And then I want to talk about the Haymaker. The Haymaker has been one of our favorite strategies. It's probably one of the most exciting strategies to watch. The Haymaker, let me see if I can find the chart here. Well, I can bring it up. I can bring it up a little later. Order filled. That crude trade was a loser, by the way. So the Haymaker runs on a NASDAQ 30 range. And the reason we call it the Haymaker is exactly what I described earlier. We're risking 20 ticks to make 80 ticks. And this NASDAQ on the 30 range has been just very consistent. From October 1st to December 28th, it's made, it's made $2,832. And you can see our equity stream right from the start in October. Our drawdown on this was very minimal, $99.50. So listen, if you're a prop trader and listen, the prop trading is great. There's some great benefits to it. It's opened the doors. It's allowed us to trade without putting any of our capital at risk. But it does have its drawbacks too. They've made something difficult even harder with their trailing drawdown rules and those other rules that they put, you know, as stumbling blocks or road speed bumps in our path. They've made it quite difficult. So if you can't take the drawdowns because of a prop account, and even if you trade a live account, I don't know anybody that you know that says drawdowns are okay. Nobody likes to take a drawdown. This one since October was $99. From October 1st to December 28th, $2,832. Really nice equity curve on the Haymaker. And then I want to talk about crude oil, and I started to talk about it just a moment ago. You know, right now because of that political unrest, we're getting a lot of volatility in oil. If I pull over the crude oil chart again, and we go back the last several days, let me see if I can make it a little bigger here. And we just take a look at how the system trades the crude oil. This was yesterday's trades. The system was up over $1,000 trading crude yesterday alone. It kept capitalizing on these moves to the downside, one after the next. It kept jumping in short and ran up the score until it hit my profit target and automatically shut down for the day. Dan said the retirement plan was up 200 on his, just like mine, and the cash register up 750. Yes, the cash register had a great day today. You know, I'm very conservative. When mine gets to 500, I kind of shut it off. So my cash register, which is our ES on the 5-minute, Dan's was up 750, mine was up 562, and that's where I have my profit target set. So they both did very well today. Ben made 1,200 on crude oil in his sim account. Great trading, Ben. So everybody that is running the system, it sounds to me, reading the comments, that we're getting very similar results. So, when I see something like this with crude oil, and I see the question that you ask here regarding scaling up, Joe. And I'm glad you asked that because when last week when I did see crude oil on kind of a hot streak and that volatility, you could see the day before yesterday, on Wednesday, crude oil kept going up higher. And then the next day, we scored big going down low. So when I see that volatility, what I do is I scale up. And that's a good question. You ask, well, how do you scale up? If I go to my strategies and I open up one of my strategies, in the strategy parameters, there's a couple of features, and I'm not going to get too into the tech part, but it does give me an opportunity. Just let me regress just for a second. These templates all come pre-formatted. You're not going to have to fill in the values and guess what I should check and what I shouldn't get, what I shouldn't check. It can be a little overwhelming looking at the strategy because there's a lot of inputs. I just want you to know, out of the box, you're going to get the optimized settings. You're not going to have to do any of this heavy lifting unless you want to. And we do have some traders that do want to. And that is, that option is available to you. So let me just answer the question. The question was how do I scale up? If I scroll down to trade management, I have the number of contracts that I can fill in. By default, we use either a 1 or a 2 contract strategy, and you could trade either the minis or the micros, okay, depending on your risk tolerance. The way you scale up is you can increase the number of contracts that you trade. If I saw that I was doing really well on crude oil and it was very volatile and I was hitting a number of my second targets, I can add a contract to my first target. And if I really want to get aggressive, I can add a fourth contract to my second target. My profit targets are 15 and 30. My stop is going to go to break even at 15. And I'm going to have an input. This is one of the new updates that's coming out where I can do a break even first target. So I can have my second target go to break even at 15 plus 5. So even if the trade comes back on me and stops me out on that second contract, I've still made 5 ticks. And it opens the doors to a variety of different strategies to implement. Another one being if you were just to trade a 1, so that's how you would scale up, Joe. You can increase the number of contracts you trade within the strategy parameters. This new feature of the break even plus or minus can also minimize risk by just risking 1 contract, okay? 1 contract. And now I can put my second target would go away. So I would have a first target of, let's say I put it at 30. And we would look at the data and see what the maximum excursion has been on these moves right now. And we would base that maximum excursion as where we would put our first target. But now let's say we want to go to break even, once it goes to 15 and we want to lock in 15 ticks of profit. So here now it's going to go to break even at 15. I'm sorry, and we're going to lock in 5 ticks of profit. So now my stop is minus 10, from where price is. And I still, I've locked in 5 or 10 ticks, however many ticks we want to get as a premium on this break even plus feature. And then we're still in the trade, trying to reach our profit target of 30. So it's almost like trading 1 contract, but having 2 profit targets. So it's a really nice feature. I can't tell you how many of these second targets, when we do a 2 contract strategy, it's a very high number. statistically, that we'll hit a first target only to come back to break even on our second target and not make any money on that second contract. Where with this new feature, if we just lock in 2 or 3 ticks, it'll make a world of difference to our bottom line over the course of the month. An extra $20 or $30 on each trade adds up to a really substantial amount of money over a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's a bit mind-boggling. So a couple of other features that I wanted to bring to your attention is we have what's called a daily loss or profit target limit. And you could either do it per account or per strategy. So if on crude oil, my maximum loss, I only want to take 375 and then shut it down. And once it reaches 750, it'll shut off. We can put in those values as well. We're really keen on capital preservation. Once you reach your profit target, disable the strategy, set it at a reasonable number here, and then stop trading. Just put the money in the bank, and the next day rinse and repeat, and just do the same thing again. And over time, it really accumulates to preserve that capital. So the crude oil chart I wanted to really emphasize on, because you saw just in the last 3 weeks it's up $3,390. You say, well, is that a back test? Is that real? Because I've seen webinars that they do back tests, and you really can't trust that data. But when you go back and you show the trades on a live market of what was actually executed, well, then that adds a lot of credibility to the system and to the trades. And we could keep scrolling back. I don't know how many days of data I have loaded on this chart, not many. But we can, I could show you each and every one of those entries over the last 3 weeks that brought my P&L to $3,390. So $3,390 the last 3 weeks alone, trading crude oil. Okay, we have in our Discord chat group something called we call it our before a bullpen, a bullpen. That's like when a pitcher, before he's coming into the game, he's in there warming up. Well, we have a bullpen of strategies that are getting ready to be released. We're in the final stages of our optimization and testing process. They've shown promising results, and we want to make those available to you to give them a try. So we put them in a bullpen, and we also invite our members, if they find something that's working, to share it with the community. And we've had the Golden Goose, which is a great strategy, was shared from one of our members. But last 3 weeks in crude oil has been $3,390. So let's get into where we're headed, because it's really nice to talk about what happened yesterday, but let's talk about where we're headed now. And we've got really exciting news for going into 2024. I mentioned earlier that we're collaborating with a very prestigious AI development lab. And what they've done, working together with Sergio and our team, is they've developed a closed loop system that continuously gathers data from the market, from previous trades, and it has the ability to constantly optimize the stops and targets. So it's a continuous loop of optimization on our trade management of our stops and targets. And that's really the important thing, is what we found with these market conditions, whether it's a trending market or a choppy or ranging market. If you have your profit targets for a trending market, you want to get the maximum excursion. You don't want to leave money on the table. So those values are going to be different when the market is ranging in a choppy environment. We would go for a much lower, a much shorter profit target in order to get a nice equity curve. So It's a machine learning model. It becomes more and more powerful the more data that it accumulates. So I've had a lot of my members that heard this presentation last week. Right before New Year's, I did the very similar presentation as today. And they asked me, well, when? And to give you a good time frame of when, we're actually integrating it now and testing it now. And our release date for this is going to be February 1st. Okay, February 1st. I encourage you not to wait until then because obviously it's quite expensive. I don't know if you're probably not familiar with how much it would cost to do something like this, but let me just tell you, it's a lot of money. It's not cheap. But to accomplish our goals that we discussed at the very beginning of this presentation, that it's been my team's mandate uh, to put uh, to put the losing to an end, the inconsistency, the blowing out of accounts. It's been our mandate to put it to an end. Well, the biggest knock on automated systems is they don't adapt to changing market conditions. What I've just showed you, what I'm explaining to you, puts that to rest. And this is going to set us apart from all of our competitors because I don't see anybody else that has this. We're going to have it and we're going to have it really soon. So it's going to be an advanced machine learning algorithm that continuously optimizes your stops and targets. I can't tell you what a difference that's going to make. I've had the privilege of working alongside of some of these AI experts and crunching the data and just learning how kind of the logic behind it and how it operates. And let me tell you, it's just extremely impressive. And the value of the trade management strategy, just as important, if not more important, than the entries themselves. But we have great entry points. Now we just need to have this optimized stops and targets that adapt to market conditions. We know that's the game changer, and we're going to have it available February 1st. Joe asked, what size account is this traded on? That's a great question, Joe, and that varies. If you're trading your own live account, I mentioned that you could trade it on micros or you could trade it on E-minis. If you're going to trade it on micros, then you can get started with as little as a couple of $1,000s in your account and trade this without a problem. If you were going to trade these strategies with the E-minis, you probably need a little bit bigger of an account, maybe 7,500 minimum to trade a variety of these strategies at one time. But listen, once we start making money and once you see your equity start increasing, to kind of go back to your initial question, that's when we scale up. That's when we can scale up. Let me see if I missed any other questions. Johnsa asks, can this trade as the market goes down? Absolutely. Yeah, I showed you that with crude oil. Crude oil, we had such great volatility. If we go back, I'll show you one more time. But if you were here, I'm sure you saw. I showed you yesterday, the market went straight down. Looks like today it's the opposite. Today it's back to going up. So yesterday, let's go back to yesterday real quick. Yesterday we were in a down day on crude oil, scored big going down. The previous session, the previous day, scored big going up. So it jumps on this, when these institutions start driving the price of crude oil up, this system is all over it, all over it. Had we had it enabled a little earlier, we would have capitalized. Where you see these crosses, those crosses, what those mean really quickly, and I don't want to get too far off track, but those crosses, when they come in, that means all of the conditions of the strategy have been met. If I go to my indicators, we have an indicator called the signal A indicator. And it has all of the conditions of the strategy, but it's an indicator. And instead of shooting off an entry when all the conditions are met, what it does is it shoots off one of these crosses when all the conditions are met. So if I put in my dashboard on that signal A, it's going to show me all of the conditions here to the left of my chart. When each one of those conditions are met, they dynamically, in real time, you'll see the values are moving because the market's open right now. But when they all go green, that means the conditions have all been met, and my indicator is going to throw a cross. And if my strategy is enabled, it's going to take the trade. All right, it's going to take that trade. So it started at 9. I think we have this program to begin trading at about 10. So at 10 o'clock, as soon as the time kicked in, it sensed that they were driving the price of crude higher, and it immediately jumped in. Okay. So to answer your question, it can capitalize on upswings or downswings on any instrument. Do we have to install the software? Great question. I was just getting to that. Johnson, thank you. You're kind of keeping me on track here. And I'm going to get to that question right now. Just to finish my thought with our new trade management, the end goal, of course, is always to enhance our profitability. And we have, let me tell you, we've got this closed loop system that they developed on Python. That, it's extremely advanced. I've never seen anything like it. And the goal of this system is to enhance the profitability. No matter what data we feed it, it's always going to give us something that would have made it better. Okay, regardless, it'll never come out worse. It's always going to continuously improve based on the current market conditions. So that's where we're headed, and we're really excited about that. And I know that once you have the system and you have it running on your machine, you're going to be just as excited as we are. Now, back to your question, Johnson. If you decide to come aboard today, and today is the best time to do it, once these new features are released, the price, is going to go up, and we're just a few weeks away. So I really encourage you to take advantage now because of the offer that I'm going to make. The offer that we're running through the end of this weekend is going to include, number one, unlimited VIP support. This is going to be, we want this to be a win-win relationship. If you come aboard, not only are we going to install the system for you, but on an ongoing basis, if you're having any trouble, if you have any questions, we're going to continue to support you. We have an A+ rating of the Better Business Bureau. And we have a couple of IT techs. Charles, let me tell you, Charles is just a master at optimizing. We have a new service now. If your system is lagging or you're having trouble with NinjaTrader script errors or database issues, we have a service now where Charles comes in and cleans your system and gets it running like a top. He did it for mine, and it's made a ton of difference in my results. So you're going to receive ongoing unlimited VIP support, including installation, Johnson. Okay. You're also going to be a part of our Discord chat group. Our Discord chat group, I'm going to escape out of here real quick and just bring it up. We've got a great Discord chat group for our members. There's a tremendous advantage to being in the Discord chat group. There's always power in numbers. If you can learn what's working from other people, sometimes even more importantly, if you can learn what's not working, and it'll prevent you from making the same mistake, that's very valuable information. So we have a general chat channel. We have a Hall of Fame We have several of our members in the Hall of Fame that have collaborated with our team, and working with Mike now, Mike M, on a strategy for ultra bonds, and we're hoping to get Mike in the Hall of Fame. But we have all of these channels, the daily results channel, the general chat channel. You're going to be a part of our trading community that it's going to restart. That is going to be able to communicate and keep your finger on the pulse. I'm really sorry. Let me skip to where I was. Now, also, if you order today, you're going to get our two module masterclass series, and we're planning on doing a module number 3 once we have this new update in place. And these modules not only break down every single input of the strategy that I opened up, but it shows you how you can build your own strategy, regardless of what instrument or time frame that you want to trade it on. We have some people that are even trading stocks using this system. But these modules will give you all of the information that's necessary to build your own strategies. And for those of you that enjoy doing that, it's great information. So let's get right to the special offer. I'm really happy that we're able to offer you the 50% discount. We ran it over the holidays, and it was very popular, and I was able to twist some arms and get this available through the end of this weekend. So what we're doing is for the monthly subscription, if you use coupon code, and if Brock, if you're in the room, if you could put that link in the chat group, in the chat box. If you want to give it a try, if you've had a bad experience before, or whatever the case might be, and you just want to give it a try for a month first, we have saved $200, and it's $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month. For the quarterly, it's kind of a buy 2 months, get the third free. It's $9.99 for the quarter. That breaks down to about $3.33 per month, if you were to break it down onto a monthly. And then we have our best value, and I really encourage you to do the annual, because if you look at it, the annual is $16.99 if you use coupon code SAVE50%. And if you break down that $16.99 and divide it by 12, it's going to give you about $141.50 per month. So for right about $140 a month, it's going to put you in a position where you're going to have the most powerful automated trading system available to the retail trader, coming up at a time where we're integrating some of the most valuable and powerful updates that we've ever included, or that's even available to a trader today. And you're going to be able to get it at a 50% discount through the end of this weekend. So the coupon code is SAVE50%, and you'll get the AI Auto Trader, the Discord chat group, tech support, all additional markets, all on an ongoing basis for just $141 a month by purchasing the annual membership, which is $16.99. And let me just, Greg asks, has this been tested on a VPS? Great question. Greg, very good question. Absolutely. We're running on a couple of different servers. We're running multiple strategies, dozens of strategies on multiple servers. That works great. Works great on a VPS. If you're someone that lives in a remote area that doesn't have a good connection through Wi-Fi, or you just want to separate your automated trading from your discretionary trading, having a VPS is a great solution. If you have to go to work, log into your VPS from work. You could always see how your system is doing. You're guaranteed to never lose a connection. with those VPSs if you get a good one, if you get the right size server. And listen, this is a system that's going to supplement your income. Now, if you're still working, if you're on a fixed income, if you're retired, this is something that has the potential to give you a nice, steady equity stream each and every month. To answer your question, yes, you can run it on a VPS. Now, I also want to throw out there that we are offering lifetime memberships. I always get the question, well, what if I want a permanent license? If you're interested in the permanent license, we are making those available at $39.99. That's a lifetime. It's a 50% discount. Normally at $79.98. If you're interested in the lifetime membership, it's currently not on our website. Just give us a call. Give me about 15 or 20, maybe 30 minutes. Let me get some lunch, and I will give you a call back. Listen, if this sounds like something that you're interested in, but you have a few questions, and you want to talk to somebody, please put your name and your number in the chat box, okay? I'm really not a telemarketer, but I do want to answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if you have a question, I'm more than willing. If it's not today, I'll be around tomorrow as well. And Sunday I go to church and then I'm going fishing. But Saturday or later this afternoon, I'm going to give you a call and I'll answer any questions that you might have. Okay. And just to end this presentation, I'm just going to take you really briefly to our website because if you wanted to place your order for the AI Auto Trader or any one of our products or services, when I go to rightlinetrading.com, let me go back. Sorry, Ron, I didn't mean to broadcast your name out there. I was working on Ron's account. But if I go to the front of the site, I'm in the back end here. So the front end of the site, listen, my hat's off to the team and Mark Miller. He's built a brand new website with a members area that once you go into the members area, if you place an order, you'll find your downloads, the tutorial videos, all the information regarding your subscription. You'll be able to manage it right from the members area. And it's really cut down on customer support, just with the mindless, repetitive tasks that went along with, running a business. This really automates everything, and makes not only me happy, our clients love it too. But for the trading systems, under trading systems, if I click on the AI Auto Trader, it's going to bring us to the landing page. Now, this was a very similar webinar that I did last week. And then we have a couple of videos that we update regularly. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see we do a number of videos on YouTube on this AI Auto. But if I was to check, you could see that our lowest price right now is at $23.99 with coupon code SAVE $1000. With the coupon code that I gave you today, all you would do is click on the annual price, and where it says coupon code, I don't mean to throw. All I would do is put the coupon code as SAVE save 50%, and apply it. And what it would do is it'll bring the cost, it'll cut it in half to $16.99. And you'll be able to check out at half price now through Monday. And not only is that good for the AI Auto Trader, but any one of our annual memberships, because you're attending today, I'm going to give you this coupon code, save 50%. It'll be good on any annual membership site-wide. Okay, and this is going to be the last weekend that it's available. All right, so let me just look at the questions before we close out. Oh, thank you, Dan. Dan thanked me for helping him set it up on Ninja Trader. I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you. Um, all right, so my last slide is a thank you slide, and I do if I know you're probably tired of hearing it by now. I know I am, but I just want this to be, listen, health is, takes a priority to anything and everything. So I always precede prosperous with good health. And I wish each and every one of you not only a prosperous new year in 2024, because I truly believe that this AI auto is going to take us to where we want to go. But most importantly, I wish you a healthy year. God bless you and your families, and thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend, everybody.